Framer just launched native forms. That's right, this is the first step to start building forms directly in Framer without requiring embeds or a third-party custom component by someone in the community. Now, I've already taken it for a spin and I have to say it's super intuitive, but do check out Framer's YouTube channel for their own tutorial since you can learn exactly how it all works within 10 minutes tops. However, in this video, what I'd like to do is demo a little bit of the form setup process, but my main focus is to show you how you can set up a few very common lead capture forms for your marketing funnels without writing any code and without needing any advanced design and setup experience. We'll be covering 1, a simple contact form, 2, a download freebie lead capture form, 3, a get a quote form for your service business, and number 4, a call booking form. In fact, for this video, I put together a free Framer file that you can grab in the description below, and it's got these 4 Framer forms already set up, easily customizable, ready to be used in your marketing funnel. But just before we jump in, my name's Omar Farouk, designer turned startup founder, and in this channel I cover my journey building startups from scratch and trying my best to achieve breakthrough success. So if you're interested in all this stuff, then smash that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. All right, so time to build some forms in Framer. Let's go. All right, so we're inside of our Framer file and we're gonna jump in, add this form right away. But first things first, I always like to start by adding my breakpoints. I'll keep the sizes the same and add a tablet and phone. And this is our main screens, right? And from here, we're gonna drop in that new form component. You can find it in the insert menu, navigate down to forms. And yes, you still have the embeds and you got the exclusive email sign-up forms from the various platforms that they've integrated. But now you've also got the form builder, which gives you way more customization and more flexibility to create any form flow you want, or pretty much any form flow you want at this stage, and show you how to create a simple contact us form. I'm gonna drop this in, and out of the box, it's already got some fields for you, the name, the email, and a select field, in this case for location. You can customize all of this. How does this thing work? Very simply, if you go to the layers panel, you'll notice that here's the form layer. So inside of these forms, you have labels, and each of these labels are essentially little groups that group the field with the little text label over here as well. So if I expand this, you can see you got the text and you got the input field. And the input field is a special Framer component that allows you to type text into it. And you've got other elements as well. For example, if you go to the select field, you can see that it's called select, that allows you to create the various options. And as you can see, the default options over here, right? And likewise, if you want to add more fields to this form or options to this form, just select the form, the main parent layer over here, and you'll notice this plus icon appear where you can click the plus and you can choose from text, checkbox, radio, and select. Text has a bunch of customization, so we'll add another text field, and you can see here you can choose from the different types: text, text area, email number, phone number, URL, date, and time. But you can learn all of this in Framer's actual tutorial videos, which goes into detail. Let's jump into actually setting up a contact us form. Since we already have this text field over here, we can easily change this into a text area for a custom message. So we'll go into the edit panel on the right. From the type, we'll switch over from email to text area, and boom, now this is a text field that a user can type on. You can, type in something like message, and we'll select the input field because you can see on the layers panel, we've selected it. On the edit panel for the placeholder, we can add something like enter your message, ... along those lines, right? Very important when you're adding any new fields, it's important that you give it a clear name to understand what it is. In this case, we'll call it message. Why? Because when you actually trigger any form, you're dependent on the name to identify what is the data you're capturing, right? So if we didn't change this, essentially what we would have had is the message coming to a data input called email, which would be very confusing. So we'll type message. Great. Now, this is how you can do a very simple form. We don't need the location. Here's your contact us form. You can submit this. Of course, to actually set up where you want the data to be collected, you need to select the form, and on the right-hand side, you've got the form settings over here, and you can send it to email, Webhooks, or Google Sheets. Again, Framer explains all this, which is really simple to do. The cool thing with Webhook, of course, you can pass it to a platform like Zapier and then send the data automatically to wherever you need it. You can also do workflows with Zapier on Google Sheets. You can automate your data from Google Sheets to your email delivery platform. Say you're using MailChimp or Brevo or active campaign, whichever it may be. Of course, webhooks would be simpler, but then at least you've also got the added benefit of having a list of all of your leads, as well as once it gets sent to your email marketing platform, right? So that's a cool advantage. Now, I want to try something a little bit more technical. This will be very useful to you guys is, what if you're creating sort of like a get in touch form, and instead, let's delete that, get in touch form, where instead of a message, what you want is a set of options. For example, we can use a radio input item. We'll push this at the top. What do you need help with? And these options will be static options that they can choose, so we have a clear idea of what they want, right? So it could be something like, I need technical support. I need help with my billing. If you want to add another option, simply select one of these labels. As you can see, we select the labels, not the individual radio. You don't want to duplicate that, the actual label. And we do Command D to duplicate another item. Let's say we want to have something else. So the idea with this get in touch form is you want your users to select a specific option so that you can get back in touch with them via email and start dealing with their query. However, if you have this something else option, it's very likely that you want the additional message to show up based on selecting something else to expand your answer further. So imagine this is called, instead of message, we can keep it as message, and we'll say, give us more details, right? I deleted the label because I want it to be part of this answer. How do we hide and show this? Now, the only way to do this is create components. So I'll quickly show you how that works. We'll select the entire form, and this is what's really cool about Framer is you can create it into a component, which I highly recommend for all of your forms, because if you're going to reuse the same forms in different parts of your website, the entire setup will be done once and it'll be distributed across the same component wherever you place the form on your site. So highly recommend creating forms of your component regardless of what the use case is, right? But for this particular use case, you have to, right? So I'm going to create get in touch as my new component. Boom, we're inside the component. The first thing I want to do is create a variant. We'll call this variant expand. And from here, what we want to do is hide it on the primary, right? So we'll select the input field for the expanded answer. We'll head over to the edit panel on the right hand side, and we'll click this plus icon in the input properties, and we'll choose hidden. Now this will automatically choose the hidden property to yes. We'll select no so we can see it again. This is what the property does. It allows you to hide and show the specific field. Now what we want to do is make it hidden yes on the primary, but on the expand version we want to go over to our layers and find the same label, which is actually hidden right now, which you can see is over here, faded out, and we'll choose hidden, select no. Now you can see the expanded answer in the expanded variant. Now what we want to do is make sure that if someone selects this particular radio button, we get this result to add further information. To do this, you simply select the radio button inside of the layers, again, not the label, the radio layer over here. And we're going to hit L on our keyboard to bring up the interaction connector, and we'll select the expanded version. We'll keep the settings as on focus and value any. That works perfectly fine. Now, the other thing you want to do is have in the interaction options, make the transition cycle. So if you select an off select, as in any point you deselect to something else, it'll go back to the submit, the other variation with the expanded answer close. So now let's test how this works. So I can choose different options. If I choose something else, this expands, but it's a bit fiddly. Look at this, like I'm going and selecting other options and this hasn't been hidden itself. Now to make this fully functional, we have to add a few more interactions. So we'll head back to the component and we'll select the other radio buttons and we'll hit L to bring up the interaction connector and connect it back with the same settings, focus and any, and we don't need to make this cycle by the way. We'll just connect them one by one and we're good to go. Also, I prefer not to have any of these options selected by default, so I'll just choose checked option as no. Now let's test it out and see if this works. So it kind of works, but on the component level, sometimes it might feel a bit fiddly. Where you want to actually test it is go to your actual website, play the website and try it here. and it should work super smooth, as you can see right here. So don't get hung up over if it's not working on inside of the components preview. Perfect. Now that we've got that set up, you have an idea of how to use components and customize your forms. You can add more fields and you can really get exactly what you need in terms of the data you want to collect. I want to show you one more thing that's very important when setting up your forms that people often miss. If you're adding any new inputs, make sure that you give it a relevant value you can recognize, especially for the radio options, because for the radio options, you can see the value says option 1, option 2, option 3, and option 3 again because I duplicated the previous one. This is not going to be helpful when you trigger the data and you collect it in a database or your spreadsheet. It's going to show you option 1, 2, 3. This is what the user selected, and you'll have to come back to this form to see what those are. And you won't be able to guess at all if these values are the same, in this case, option 3 and option 3. So you have to give it exclusive values, especially for, in the case of these radio buttons. So what I'll do is select the actual text over here and paste it inside the value. We've got everything ready. Now we just need to set up the actual form to be functional and collect the data where we want it. In this example, I'm going to select the form and we'll head over to the edit panel, and under the form properties, we'll select it to send to email. And from here, you can set it up how you want. For example, I'll send it to my personal email, get in touch. So I've got my send to email all set up. This is how I want it. What this will do is someone submits the form from the website, we'll receive the submission directly in our inbox. We can go ahead and test this out. So I'll go ahead and play this, type Omar Jane at acme.com, and we'll do something else just to see the entire expanded answer, message test, submit it, boom, we got the thank you message. Let's head over to my email and see if we received it. There it is, submission, we got the name, we got the email, we got radio something else, and message test. Now, if you want this to change and be something more specific that you can identify, you can do that too. For all these radio buttons to be unified under one specific question, it needs to be named the same thing. So in this case, it's all radio, so it's all functional. If it wasn't named radio, for example, if we have radio 1 and radio 2 over here. So radio 1, radio 2, if this was the case, what'll end up happening is you get this problem where you can select multiple options, which is not what you want, right? So to avoid that, make sure you have the same name. I would use the name of the actual label for these radio buttons so you can identify what people are exactly answering. And this will give you further clarity. Great, so we've done forms. There's other, of course, settings that I would definitely advise you make sure you do. For example, for these basic forms, I'd always set it to fill so we get good responsiveness. And of course, if you don't want these forms to be super wide, I would also put a max width, and maybe a good standard for a form like this could be something around the 400 mark is a nice width, right? And you can see on the mobile side, it looks way better now. So that's it on setting up components with forms. Definitely use components. Let's go into some of the components I've already set up for you guys to do lead capture of various types. Now, the cool thing that you get from these components within the free Framer file that I've given you in the description is that I've set up these components so that it's more easier for you guys to set up your marketing funnels. For example, this form component, if I double click this, you can see I've got the mobile set up, I've got the whole thank you flow set up. There's no drama, it's all ready for you to launch, right? As you can see, while selecting this free guide component on the edit panel on the right, I've set up the component so you can easily customize it. For example, if you want to change the title, you can do that right here. So if you don't want to say download the free guide, you can also say download ebook and it would change, right? Subtitle, that can be changed. You can also choose whether you want to upload a file that they can download through this form, or you can set it to go to a URL even, right? So it's up to you how you want to set it up, whether it's a downloadable file or a URL. It's up to you, and you can choose the downloadable file within this selection option over here and upload it yourself. If you have the URL option selected, then you can paste the link over here. And we have the thank you message as well, which you can customize. You can't see the thank you message over here, but for example, so instead I'm going to type thank you so much. What will end up happening is if you play the component, subscribe me to to the newsletter. Boom, thank you so much, it's a new message. And all this is super responsive out of the box, right? No drama. You can also change the images for both the download screen and the thank you screen. Great, let's head over to the next form. We also have the get a quote form. Now this is a bit more of a complex form. Again, you can see the whole setup has been done for you, ready for you to go. This is for a service business. If you want to capture specific details so you can offer someone a quote, then you can do that, right? Typical for agencies. Now, do note in this form, I have a little bit of a different structure. I've added these stacks on these layers over here so that we can add fields side by side, which is really helpful. And so if you want to add more of these fields, for example, if I take this field, there's a stack in there and there's a label on the inside that stack. If I want to add another field next to it, I can just simply duplicate that and I've got another text field on the right hand side of it. So it's given that flexibility. So you can use these stacks, duplicate them, paste more or drag and drop more labels inside them. As you can see, I've dragged another one inside that. And so that flexibility is there with these stacks, which is really helpful. Easy to customize, as you can see, by just dragging and dropping into these stacks. I've also got a checkbox to agree to terms and privacy. All of it set up, again, ready for you to go. Let's go ahead and see how this works. Go ahead and type my name, omar@omar.com, message, boom. By the way, if I don't have this selected, let's see what happens. Yeah, I have to have this selected, so it's a must have. And there's your nice thank you page. And we've got a nice explore case study. You can link this to other pages within your website for convenience. So that's the get a quote component, ready for you to customize. Again, on the right-hand side is all set up for you. You can change the title, you can change the subtitle, you can change the thank you title and the thank you message, as well as the thank you button link. So this button link over here, this button has been set up for you to redirect anyone wherever you want, and you just simply add the link over here. Great, so that is the get a quote. Finally, we have the book a call form. Again, just like the get a quote form, we have these stacks with two fields side by side, which you can easily customize just as I showed you, and you can add more fields, whatever you prefer, whatever details you want to capture before someone books a call. But what's very unique about this is I've specifically added an embed for the Calendly. The Calendly component is available in the insert menu. If you go to forms, you can actually drag and drop any of these other embed forms, but you can also throw up the embed component on the utility and embed any calendar you prefer, right? So for this example, I'm using Calendly. And so the idea is the user will add their details. For example, let me play this up. Message. And on the next screen, they can book the call by going through this flow in Calendly. And yeah, how is this customizable? Really simple. Again, everything's set up in the component level. You can choose the title, the subtitle, the book title, as in the booking message after they submit this form, and the booking subtitle. So essentially these titles over here and the subtitle. And finally, you can simply copy the name and paste it right here, and you've got the calendar working. Like I said, if you want to make this a different calendar, you're using a different calendar platform, then simply head over to the insert menu, utility, drag and drop the embed over here, set it to fill, delete the Calendly, and paste the HTML or the URL of that embed. That's another way of doing it. So those are the 4 basic forms that's put together for you guys to use. Very easy to set up. Just copy these components within these pages. It's all titled appropriately. You've got a home page to navigate and find the form that you want. And from the various pages, you simply select the component, copy it and paste it to any Framer project that you want, customize it to your needs. Now, if you have a very specific funnel flow and you don't want to have the thank you page on the same page and you want to redirect them to a dedicated thank you page, then you can easily set that up by simply selecting any of these forms, removing the interaction on the right hand side. As you can see over here, just click the X button. That's no longer connected to the thank you. And what you do is, while selecting the form, head over to the edit panel, go to the form properties and choose a redirect option. I've already got a thank you page available in this template, so you can, for example, set it over there and copy that page to your website. So here we are, that's it for this video. Make sure you grab the free remix link in the description to access these forms, and let me know in the comments if this video was helpful. And if it was, do subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate it. Also, if you're interested, my team are building a small community for marketers using Framer. I've got the early access link in the description as well, so check that out. And while you're here, check out these videos, you might dig them. I'll speak to you soon, and never stop building.